this throwout bearing was way down in here. We've taken it out. It appears to be the original one. It's still nice and nasty because we're going to replace it with a new one. Now, fingers crossed that this new one works as well. I've heard mixed reviews on new throwout bearings. Apparently the graphite they use here is seems to get eaten up really fast in some of them. So, let me show you the difference. You can see the difference in the height of the graphite. I think you can see that. It's hard to get on camera. There we go. So yeah, one's a lot, has a lot more meat to it than the other one. This spins against a plate, and it's just works on low friction, and this is what pushes the clutch in and out. So when you're pushing this in, when you push the clutch in, this is rubbing. That's why when you don't want to leave your foot on the clutch when you don't have to. And it all rides on this great big shaft that goes through the transmission. The shaft itself has bearings on it and grease zerks, but we're going to start off by squirting some grease in there to get it started. Shaft itself has a washer on one side. It also has a C-clip on one side and a bolt on threads on the other side. And the thread side goes on the side with the clutch pedal mechanism. But before we shove it all the way in there, we need to put this guy on. This is what holds the throwout bearing and pushes it back and forth. Now there's flat spots on here and like bolt holes here. These are very interesting. These are called cotter pins. These are significantly different than these cotter pins. See? Cotter pin assortment. But this cotter pin has threads on one end and a taper on it. So when it goes in the hole and then you tighten it down, and that taper holds it in there really tight. So the cotter pins are going to go kind of from the, well, this will ride like that, so they're going to go up from the bottom, but I'm rotating it around to get a hold of it. And this groove here needs to line up with that one, so it'll fit. Now the flat side will face the shaft, and once you get it lined up, it'll move right up there. It gets a lock washer and a nut. Same with the other one. Like that. This is going to go in here. You have these funny springs. There's indentations on the back of these, and this little indentation here, this little indentation right there is going to go into those. So the straight bit goes into the end, and then that little notch lines up with the notch that's right there. Now out here, a little bit of extra grease hanging out. I have a spacer. Now that the throwout bearing's installed, we want to make sure to give it a good squirt of grease so we don't forget to do that later.